Lucky Luciano is undoubtedly one of the most notorious criminals in history, renowned for his iconic status as a kingpin amongst organized crime groups during the mid-1900s. He left an undeniable mark on American culture by revolutionizing the underworld in ways that had never been seen before, becoming something akin to a legend within criminal circles. Let's talk about the secrets that made him the genius crime boss on Crime Cartel. Early life of Lucky Luciano and his entry into organized crime. Growing up on the streets of New York City during the early 20th century, Salvatore Luciano had an exceptionally tough start in life. His parents ran a small grocery store in a mainly Italian-American area. However, his father additionally spent time as a presser at a marble works and was incredibly involved with local politics, something that had an extensive effect on Lucky's later choice to enter organized crime. Luciano was just 2 when his dad, Antonio, passed away unexpectedly, leaving young Salvatore having to look out for himself from an early age. How difficult must it have been for him? As he grew up, Lucky found himself captivated by the exciting yet risky atmosphere of the Lower East Side. He became involved in minor offenses and ultimately turned to theft, as well as leading gangs of bootleggers and illegal gamblers, activities which paved his way into notoriety. The gangster used his street knowledge and strong charm to become one of the most powerful figures within what had then been recognized as organized crime. This included forming relationships with notorious characters such as Meyer Lansky, Bugsy Siegel, and Frank Costello, who spun out on a widespread unlawful operation that was both successful and wealthy. Before we go any further, I have an offer for you. I need you to subscribe to Crime Cartel, and I will provide you with seamless crime-rich documentaries every week. Hit that red button if you're in. Now, let's move on. Luciano's genius crime strategies as a mafia boss. They don't make him like Lucky Luciano anymore. He was a notorious mob boss renowned for transforming organized crime in America, and his infamous status has made him the poster boy of gangster culture ever since he passed away back in 1962. But what set him apart from others within his profession wasn't just luck, it was also that he possessed an almost supernatural ability when it came to outsmarting those who stood against him. When it came to his mob business, he had 2 key strategies that ensured longevity for the organization. One was looking after those within it, and the other was the judicious use of violence. If any of his soldiers were arrested for a minor offense, then Lucky would make sure justice prevailed, while also protecting them from jail time by bribing witnesses or even prosecutors if necessary, avoiding damage to reputation and morale in the process. On top of avoiding jail, Lucky understood too much bloodshed could lead to unwelcome attention from authorities, so using violence sparingly, yet effectively, proved a hugely successful formula for him, which allowed long-term success without alienating public opinion. Rather than randomly targeting people who posed little threat, Luciano used his discernment to elect suitable rivals and adversaries to maximize advantage with minimal casualties. By only selectively getting rid of those he deemed necessary, Lucky avoided unnecessary attention, which kept his forces safe for as long a period as possible. Unveiling the underworld secrets of Lucky Luciano's reign. Lucky Luciano is probably one of the most notorious criminal figures there has ever been. His actions changed organized crime into a massive phenomenon, taking it to levels none had expected. In terms of both wealth and power, he was unrivaled, even becoming quite mythical along the way. So what were his secrets? How could someone be so successful? The truth is that Lucky Luciano's leadership abilities set him apart from other mobsters at that time, giving him the edge. He truly was extraordinary. He grasped that no one could make it on their own and maximized his effort to construct sturdy relations with competing gangs, while also preserving control over his illegal kingdom. He was aware of how to use intimidation strategies and manipulation for maximum outcome, engendering fear among likely rivals which habitually kept them from confronting him head-on. Additionally, he had an appreciation for extravagance, rendering himself distinctive as well as acquiring the acknowledgement and adulation of others. The impact of Luciano's leadership on the Mafia world. It all kicked off in 1931, when Luciano was chosen by the National Crime Syndicate as their new head honcho. This guy had gone from a delinquent street kid to being at the helm of one of the most notorious criminal gangs ever. His drive and guile no doubt played an important part, but it wasn't just that which helped him get there. At only 20-something years old, he already possessed remarkable leadership skills. What must have made him so special? Most significantly, Luciano got the power of motivation and affected people positively by providing them with a feeling that they were part of something more enormous than themselves. His particular combination of recklessness and charisma earned him admiration from his followers, allowing him to direct authoritatively, yet still motivate loyalty. What's more, he possessed an extraordinary ability to size up individuals within seconds and properly judge them without making any rush choices. This gave him success in negotiations, since he knew precisely which triggers to press. It was like he could read minds. At first, a lot of Mafia bosses were suspicious about Luciano's leadership style. He was quite young compared to them. However, they soon grasped the wisdom behind his approach and granted him more responsibility with time. Before long, Luciano's presence could be noticed across all organized crime, from New York City through Chicago, right up to Havana occasionally. Legacy and influence of Lucky Luciano in modern organized crime. Lucky Luciano is one of the most infamous people in criminal history, and his legacy still has an impact on modern organized crime circles. His influence back in 1931 was so immense that he helped compose what many call the American Mafia. He crafted a powerful illegal empire that spanned all across the world, dealing with activities such as bootlegging, prostitution, drugs, and gambling. Although Luciano himself passed away due to a heart attack back in 1962, his effect upon organized crime lives on up till now. Could it be said then that Lucky's enduring reign never really ended? The brilliance of Luciano was not just in forming connections with crooks and politicians, but also in his foresight to work out the right way to remain on top in a constantly changing criminal world. People reckon he had an intuitive understanding of what was going to come next that made him seem like some kind of prophet at times. His visionary perception allowed him to shape the underworld as he wished, making rules from settling disputes between gangsters through deciding who would be part of certain groups or lead them. What's more, a lot of people credit Lucky Luciano for totally transforming multiple elements of structured crime. This evolution shifted the focus from violence and fear-mongering to becoming something closer in line with an economic enterprise aimed at making money through illegal activities, such as bribery or blackmailing. He always made sure their profit went back into their operations, resulting in even higher returns. This is something present-day mobsters still do now. To wrap it up, Lucky Luciano was a bit of a legend in the criminal underworld. His style and tactics left a mark on organized crime that persists to this day. He wasn't afraid to use force when necessary, but also had enough wit and charm to get away with his schemes. The specifics of what made him so successful are mostly hidden from view, though they're well known among those involved in the world of crime. It's no surprise then why Luciano remains such an influential figure today. He used to work with the baddest people in the world, including Frank Costello, the gangster who made politicians dance. To know more about Frank Costello, click on the video on your screen and we'll see you there.